Hello, Darwin Amy. So long, yeah, I keep coming up with all battle raps and they're just pouring out of me. That Wu-Tang stuff.
No man's land, even worse for aliens. Since I work with Magic, Trump treat me like a Mexican. But I use 22 Trumps, that'll trump any Trump. Punk any chump that challenged me to a battle on a spiritual plane. Put the blood on the script, rep the ritual game. Run the whole universe, they don't mention my name. They don't know my name, they don't know where I came from. I'm so arcane, don't do arcades, bitch, I do magic. Part of the sea, dotted the I's, cross the T's. Caution, please, there's no function. Honor the ancestors I came up with. Talked to Buddha and he told me about Jesus. Told me about God making his image. Just look at the features. Yeah.
Like, but really neat, very beautifully alliterated little battle raps. So next time you want to come to me and have a battle rap off, I'm going to kill you because I'm a samurai. And why you ask yourself, she's drunk, is she high, she's been out, what's she been doing? Yeah, I'm fucked up. I'm fucked up in the head.
Fucked up in the head, I was born this way, but I can't carry on this way, so I meditate. Shock the energy within me levitates, kiss the Shiva and I realize I am everything. The microcosm of the macro, when the flower blossom, you forget about the seed, but I know thyself, they won't germinate me, but I know thyself. Yeah, came here to start a nation, told her black is beautiful. She called me racist. She created her own reality. She said, fuck you, believe. It's all about salary. What about Mickey and Mallory? Love is what you make it. Tapping in the inner child in me. Burning that old energy like calories.
Why are you coming out with all this stuff all the time? All these lyrics and I don't know why. But I realised it's from the next album.
Peace to the family. What's going on? Peace. Synchronicity. That's a good word for the day. Peace to the family. What's interesting about that song is rather old, but the references in there, like Trump and the sample of Aretha Franklin, that matters today. So, you know, the things that we do in the past that we kind of may have lost value for, you know, if you did it, it was a reason why you did it. So those old pieces of art, those old songs and things of that nature, take a look at those things moving forward. But peace, family. It's the Hood Mystic, representing www.hoodmystic.com. Today is August 16th, 2018, and we're going to go through a daily energy reading like we do. You know, the title of this video is Breaking the Glass Ceiling, so we'll fully elaborate on what we mean on breaking the glass ceiling. This shows up if you were homeless inside of a cardboard box, or if you're a millionaire this morning. We all have a glass ceiling that we need to break, so we're going to talk about this. This message is universal. If you want to support this, patreon.com/TheHoodMystic is where you get your monthly astrology readings and where you support this channel. PayPal.me/TheHoodMystic is where you would like to make a one-time donation, or if you want to pay for readings and services, PayPal.me/TheHoodMystic or Cash App HoodMystic38. And if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the daily notification so you'll know when we go live. Just want to say gratitude and appreciation for my subscribers, people who are on this channel. I realize that most of my views come from my subscribers, so really appreciate you guys for really supporting the channel and keeping this thing going. And also, if you're interested in graphics, please check out the links below that are in the description. Tierra Non-Human Graphics, that's my sister. Please support her. If you got a web page, if you got a YouTube page and you need some graphics, please hit her up. She will put you together. You understand what I'm saying? The opening intro is all done by her. So if you like that and you want something like that for your channel, maybe a different swag, hit her up, Tierra Non-Human Graphics. So now that the business is out the way, let's get into the astrology. Started this video early today because I have a early day. But we want to like just take a look at Jupiter, take a look at the moon now just entering Scorpio and what that means. Okay, we talk about Jupiter a lot, and we're going to talk about Jupiter a lot again today because Jupiter is important and it's showing up right now. First, I want us to take a look at where we are. Where are we triggered? Where are we sensitive at? Where are we closed off at? Those represent a fear. As the moon moves into Scorpio, we are fully aligned with what we can be and what we can't be. So where are you closed off at? Where are you easily triggered at? Where are you sensitive at as the moon goes into Scorpio? Because we're dealing with a serious topic. The reason why I want you to be sensitive on these things is because we're dealing with transformation. And so it's important that you face that. It's important that you deal with that so you can begin to transform, because Jupiter is in Scorpio. The king is in Scorpio. And so the moon in Scorpio, in essence, represents a glass ceiling. As the moon universally travels into Scorpio, we all are faced with and placed in front of us a glass ceiling where we're ascending, but we reach, you don't want to necessarily call it a block because you can still see where you want to go, but you're not getting there. It's like a glass ceiling. So let's fully examine what the moon is doing right now. The moon will be opposed Uranus through the night and also through the day. And so there's going to be changes. And actually, Uranus to me gives you that hammer. But maybe you don't want to break the glass, right? Because breaking the glass, it'll get you like attention that you necessarily don't want to have. People will look at you and say, you know, who is this person breaking this glass? Make sure you clean that glass up. And so you can understand why you wouldn't want to break the glass, even though you have the opportunity to break the glass as the moon opposes Uranus. And we also want to look at Jupiter now, dead center of Scorpio, 15 degrees Scorpio, trining Neptune, dead center of Pisces, 15 degrees Pisces. But for a second, before we get into that, Jupiter is in the second decan of Scorpio. Who rules the second decan of Scorpio? Jupiter and the moon. One second. Sorry about that. Yeah. So Jupiter rules the second decan of Scorpio alongside the moon. Ashe. Good morning, Linda. So if you understand that the moon ruling the second decan of Jupiter, the second decan of Scorpio, these energies represent another energy, which is Cancer. And so we have all of this energy sitting on top of the second decan. In the middle of the day, the moon will begin to transcend into the second decan of Scorpio, really unifying and symbolizing that, hey, transformation needs to happen. Is this individual ready to transform? Is this individual ready to put on his crown or her crown? So you have to understand that this is a vibe, this is a portal, this is a opportunity to walk into your light. Because Jupiter trine Neptune won't happen again until 2026. And then also, since all of this energy is in Scorpio, it's not necessarily talking about an external thing. It's talking about an inner thing of how you ultimately view yourself. Honestly, before this energy had moved into Scorpio, I viewed myself as a truck driver. I did not view myself as an astrologer or a psychic or aspectarian or any of the like, or somebody that's here to heal the world. I only simply viewed myself as a father and a truck driver. But as Jupiter moved into Scorpio, my view of self began to change. My view of self began to transform. So where are you at in that spectrum of transformation, of understanding who you are, as Jupiter stands in the middle of the fire, in the middle of transformation, as Neptune sits in the middle of Pisces, where you have to face your fears, you have to face who you think you are and deal with who you truly are. This is a trine, meaning this is inherent, meaning that, you know, the reality may be present in a lot of individuals, but the reality is also without any fire to this energy, without any introspection, without any real work towards it. It's just a simple reality. I'm sure there's basketball players that are more talented than LeBron James, but they haven't put in the energy or the effort or the inner work, the maintenance of the body to get to his level. So they may be trined, but you also need other things to support a trine. Jupiter is also sextiling Pluto. So even more of an inner transformation. Pluto represents transformation and ascension as it sits in Capricorn, the second decan of Capricorn. And a sextile represents effort that you make towards something. So if two energies represent two things, then you have to make effort to bring them things into unison as we understand astrology. Good morning. Sextile. First word of that is sex, meaning that sex is a mutual effort towards something. It creates something once you begin to act upon it. To say I'm going to transform, to say that I'm ready to ascend, to say, and then make the effort. Starting the YouTube page, beginning to formulate how you're going to attack the world. How are you going? You need to start to set up your gallery or begin to write that book. As opposed to, we know that you are a secretary at the law firm, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about your side hustle. We're talking about the things that you really want to do. And this is available to all humans. Good morning, Kara. But you have to begin to take that effort, and that's what a sextile means. That effort towards Pluto. As it presents itself, and this portal presents itself, as this opportunity presents itself for us all to transform, to us all to begin to put effort into that transformation. Yesterday we talked about Jupiter square Mercury, and I feel as though we need to touch on it one more time. Because Mercury is our mind as it goes retrograde in the second decan, which is ruled by Jupiter. A Jupiter triplicity, which ultimately gives it a Sagittarius ruling, which ultimately means that our paths have to be fully realized. Now, we talking about astrology, so, you know, this thing can be very simple since we're talking about it. Now, imagine not talking about it, and imagine just going along with the everyday humdrum rat race TikTok world. Imagine that. Now imagine that you have the opportunity to realize who you are as a holistic being. Imagine you have the opportunity to face all fears, and knowing that when you face all fears, you will come out on the other side in your full divine kingship. Imagine not having that conversation. And so you have to understand that there are millions upon billions of people who are not having that conversation. They're simply going along with what's going on in the world, and realize that the world is leading them to where the world wants to lead them to. So you as a listener, you as the individual, it's time to really understand who you are. Jupiter. Your kingship. We was kings. We are all connected to a deeper spiritual lineage if we could just simply get out of who we think we are and simply get into who we are transforming into, and the effort that it takes to get to that transformation point, and the realization and the daily application of these simple principles of understanding, okay, clearing, purification, letting things go, letting baggage go, understanding that our history is completely malleable. Our history isn't set in stone. Our history is what we tell ourselves. And so bringing these things into full realization today can only benefit you to your full expansion. And so I fully want to elaborate on Jupiter trine Neptune. Both of these deacons, both of these placements are ruled by Jupiter. Both of these energies are very strong. This is what I would call a once in a lifetime type of thing, but this is not something that happens all of the time, where we have the planet Neptune and the planet Jupiter in this placement, providing this particular energy, this transformative energy. And I'm only speaking this way, and I'm only speaking to this effect is because I'm experiencing it, I'm going through it, and so I would like for people to experience it as well. So what I'm saying is Jupiter trine Neptune is, okay, I'm this person. Now I'm going to evolve into this better, more evolved, different form of myself based upon my spiritual technology and based on who I am as a king, based on who I am as a divine being. My whole identity is going to come under a full change. And so this is something that we talked about for a while. I've been talking about this actually for months, because we understand that this energy has to be grown. This energy has to be cultivated. This energy has to be talked about. This energy has to be noticed. This energy has to be realized, because we're so inundated with who we think we are. Indeed. Level up is a simple way to, yeah, that's even simpler. A universal leveling up that's available to you, to me, to your family. But ultimately, you could only do this shit by clearing your pineal gland and understanding your dreams, decoding your dreams, taking yourself seriously, as opposed to taking your relationship seriously, your career seriously, your life seriously, your habits seriously, your negative things that you constantly do seriously. Developing positive habits and cultivating them on a seriously matter-of-fact level. The vibration of joy, taking that seriously, not letting people take your joy away from you. Very important. Because we understand that this is a emotional, because we're dealing with water signs right now. We're dealing with Pisces and Scorpio, so we're dealing with two water signs. So we're dealing with an emotional alignment, an emotional realization. So what we talking about taking seriously is our emotional frequency, because so many of us have an emotional frequency that is yuck, ew, disgusting. Please get that emotional frequency away from me. But yet and still we want to grow and be this beautiful person, but we haven't. When we see people and when we deal with our children, and you know, I seen it, I feel it, and I know it. So please, it's not something that you have to be real with me about. It's something that you have to be real with yourself about, and your emotional frequency, and how are you going to begin to manipulate it and change it to a positive frequency for the mere fact of leveling up, for the mere fact of elevating yourself in a different vibration. Because if you hold on to those negative frequencies, if you hold on to those nightmares, you carry them into this portal. And I know I discussed this ad nauseum, but I gotta discuss it from different points of views, different vantage points, so people can get the message, because this is what's going on. Exactly. We have to step into the magic. But you can't be stepping into the magic trying to step through some bones and step through some corpses and step through some, you know, faded loves and all of that shit. You gotta be clear with that shit. You gotta be clear with the childhood trauma. And I'm not being insensitive to it, but you need to be conscious and put effort to it, to get a therapist, to get a psychologist, or to get somebody that you can talk about this shit with. Because holding it in and trying to step into your magic at the same time, you like an atomic bomb waiting to happen. So this is why this energy is so important, and this is why I feel the need to speak to it. Peace. Islam. And so as we begin, if Jupiter is the light bringer and Jupiter is going through Scorpio, then that means it's important for us to be seen in a different light. And even if people don't see us in a different light, because we have no control of how people see us, we have to begin to see ourselves in a different light. Now I begin to see myself in a different light, and this makes all the difference in how I go about my day. This makes all the difference in how I feel about myself throughout the day, of how I begin to see myself. It's a different vibe when I'm making everything dependent on how other people see me. That's when the shit gets tricky. And as we begin to fully elaborate on Jupiter, as we begin to fully understand it, so who in here wants wealth? Who in here wants success? Who in here wants to be who they truly are destined to be? And destined is speaking to purpose and plan. If you look up the etymology to destiny, you get the word destinaire. And if you look up the definition to the word destinaire, you get the words purpose and plan. Who here is ready to fully align to their purpose? Who in here is fully ready to align to their purpose and enact a plan to get to that point? Because you have the ability. Nico says she ready. Okay, Nico, you ready. That's all that matters. If you ready, I'm ready, Nico. And so this is overall the message that I'm trying to convey through the astrology. Of course, there's other things going on, but since today is Thursday, and Thursday represents Jupiter, we're going to kind of put the focus on Jupiter, because I know somebody needs to hear that message. I know somebody here wants to tap into their wealth. I know somebody wants to tap into their success. So by doing that, if you are, I want to be wealthy, I want to be successful, Hood Mystic, well then let go of that shit that's holding you back. Get rid of them bones in the closet. Ashe. I'm ready too. I'm ready too. I'm right there with y'all. This is a group effort, you know. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. It came over me yesterday after my live. I was doing my thing, and then I was like, you know what? I'm ready. I'm ready to be my best self. I'm ready to get out there and be in an environment that serves me and my purpose. I'm not about to fake the funk out here. And so if that means moving my family, that's what I need to do. And so, man, like, this message is for me. That's and if you don't get nothing from it, I'm sorry. Tomorrow I got you, but I needed to pump myself up. Ashe. So let's do the top tier and let's do the bottom tier. Let's look at this real quick, because everything is by design, or not by design, or intelligent design. So I did this at 5:55 a.m. by chance. Peace. I feel y'all. And then the two tiers that we have today are the 5s and the 5. And 5 represents Mars, 5 represents action. And so there are multiples. There are multiples. That's amazing, Milkweed. There are multiples of 5s. And so Mars represents action. Action represents Mars. It's time to get some action involved, and the energy is really speaking to the negative polarity of Mars. If we have this, and we have the swords, and we have our material life, and then we have our words, in a sense. And so where are we materially? How does our material situation align with our reality? And our material situation is actually that glass ceiling, okay? And then our words, the things that we say to ourselves, present a glass ceiling for us as well. So how does it play out? We live in places, we do things, we talk in ways that limit ourselves to who this Jupiter energy is. And so what we have to begin to do, right, is begin to move out, get into safe spaces, get to places, get around people that truly love us, get around people who are on our vibrational frequency. And what we also have to do is begin to speak those things to which the level of which our Jupiter is instructing us. Like, I'm not just a truck driver. I used to say that to myself, I'm just going to be a truck driver. I love being a truck driver, I would say to myself. And so changing that vocabulary, like, fuck being fuck being a truck driver, for real, understanding that and just realizing that, my new manifestations, my new affirmations are more aligned into truth. I want what my soul wants for me, things of that nature. So as we begin to go up to the Hermit and the Queen of Swords, is like, as we begin to deal, okay, we want to break this glass ceiling. What do we have to begin to do now? We have to deal with our Hermit energy. We have to begin to deal with ourselves, change our ways, go a new direction, and we have to know ourselves, and we have to begin to take ourselves seriously. See, this is what the Hermit represents. It represents taking yourself seriously, taking who you are seriously, taking we all have journals, we all have diaries, but we do the work in there, and then we like abstract ourselves from, our manifestations and our affirmations. So if we have manifestations, if we have affirmations, then you owe it to yourself to take it seriously. Peace, Queen Beauty. So last night, you may have had a nightmare. You may have been through this nightmare represents a form of negative thinking, which represents a form of a prison, which also represents a glass ceiling that one has to begin to break. So this prison, this nightmare, this negative thought is something that you have to face. Last night I had a dream that I was in prison for 6 months. And you know what? I wasn't mad. I was like, because I was already sentenced, I was getting off the bus and I was like in front of the jail, and I was like, okay, I was trying to fathom it. I was trying to figure it out, and just be in that place. Okay, I got 6 months. How can I make the best of this 6 months? And so it felt so good waking up, Because what had happened was that I was with a bunch of young kids and we was like riding around selling drugs, robbing people, and then we eventually got arrested, and I eventually got 6 months in prison, and I'm trying to figure that out. And so I'm still decoding that dream for real, but ultimately I know that it represents a prison that I've created for myself, that now I have to begin to think about the positive ways, and really understanding that these next 6 months is how I'm going to begin to think positively, and knowing that in 6 months I'm going to have an opportunity to move out of where I'm at. And so now is the time that I begin to prepare on what's going to be like when I get free from my quote unquote prison that I've created. And so the Six of Swords represents a holistic approach to everything, and this is how we get to that gain, that Nine of Discs, that ultimate success, that ultimate, you know, freedom from breaking that glass ceiling to where we can continue to ascend. Because there's a lot of energy in Capricorn where we're dealing with a lot of ascension, so we all have different blocks, whether it be sleeping and not getting enough sleep, or not eating correctly, or not exercising. It's just so many things that we may externalize as people coming against us, but it's really about how we truly view ourselves and getting out of that same loop. We've got comfortable in our loops, and now those loops have to end now, boom, like a guillotine. Those habits, those patterns, you know, and really fully align to your Jupiter energy. If you're in a relationship, this is very important. If you resonate with this information and you have a partner and they not resonating with this information, they just going to work and coming home, make sure that they listen to this. Maybe it'll help, maybe it won't help, based on my delivery. So make sure you guys do your own investigation on Jupiter, trine, Neptune, and really understand this energy for yourself, because it's that important. I'll probably talk about this again because it ain't over yet. And as we begin to fully align with our truth, let's do that. Like, let's fully align with our truth. Let's fully align with our kingship. Let's fully align with our destiny. Let's fully align with our purpose. Let's take this shit seriously so we can be benefited. And I'm only speaking as a person who took in some shit that most people wouldn't have took seriously. Took it seriously, and I've benefit from it. I hope y'all can see that. I hope y'all can feel that. I hope y'all know that, like, if you see me successful, anything is possible for you. Because I'm the Krishna of this shit. I'm the cow herder of this shit. I'm letting people know that, you know, that glass ceiling deserves to be broken. And if you got to bring out that hammer and you got to make some noise and you got to do what you got to do, but you got to ascend. You gotta realize who you are. Who are you? Like my wife, I'm trying to get her to be into her mediumship because she's very good at contacting the dead. But if she doesn't see herself like that, then it doesn't matter if I see her as a great medium. She has to fully see herself how I see her and more. You know, and if I see greatness in you, that don't matter. You know, you have to see it in yourself on a deeper level. And so let's fully realize this energy and let's bring this to the forefront, because these opportunities don't happen every day. So that being said, man, make sure you reach out. www.hoodmystic.com is the website for readings. Check out the readings and consultations tab. And for a full elaboration on the testimonials, make sure you check the testimonials tab. Working on a new blog right now, doing some things on Patreon right now, working on some new episodes with Spiritual Sister Girl. We're working on the video titled Actualization. where I'll be interviewing her. I really want to do more interviews, so if you have any content, anything that you want to discuss with me or build in front of the family, make sure you hit me up at just hoodmystic@gmail.com, subject interview. So we can, I want to build with the family. I want to know what you guys are into. Shelby Jack, make sure you email me. I want to know what's going on. I need people to know what's going on with Shelby Jack. So make sure you check out Shelby Jack's YouTube page as well. He's doing some amazing things like I can't even explain to you. So it's J-A-K, not J-A-C-K. But yeah, family, peace to y'all. Much love to y'all. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you guys fully realize who you truly are transforming into be. I hope this message resonated with you. I hope it motivated you to be more than what you were yesterday, as we continue to build, as we continue to grow in consciousness together as a family daily. You know, this is something for all of us that we can all build upon. So, you know, for readings, if you don't want an astrology reading, if you just want to just ask a couple of questions, I'm very good at that as well. So, you know, $15, $20, you know, you get a question answered. Very invaluable service that I just do for the people, because I know we all go through shit and we all need some objective third party interjection. So, you know, hit me up for that. So I'm going to start my day. Hope everybody has a beautiful day. Peace to the family. Love.